What's up, party people? This phrase that I've mentioned on this channel before has been on my mind all week, which means that it deserves a further expansion. And here it is. The fundamental tension of conscious existence is the foreknowledge that at some indeterminate point in the future, it is due to end. So in layman's terms, you're going to die, and that's why you're in pain. You have this existence that you love, that we all love. We are experiencing it all the time. And in the back of our mind, somewhere we know the light is going to turn off in the future. And this underpins and undergirds everything that is negative about the material world. All of the pain comes from the fact that we are conscious and we love this consciousness, and we know that this consciousness is temporary. And this is what drives people, I believe, to drug use, because when you are using drugs, you feel eternal, or you feel that it doesn't matter if I perish because I feel so amazing right now. So it gives you this false idea that you will live forever. Believe me, I've done enough drugs to know. It's the same thing with booze. It's the same thing with hooking up. It's the same thing with all of these things that flood our consciousness with this feeling that this is it. This is living. This is being. This is forestalling the inevitable, because we're so vividly present in this thing that actually is just nothing. I mean, there's ultimately nothing there. So humanity has been fascinated with the concept of death and the afterlife forever. I mean, this is what drove the pharaohs to build these ginormous pyramids. They knew the end was coming, but they wanted this enormous legacy, this bullshit monument legacy, to outlast them, and they've lasted for thousands of years. It's also what brought, capitalists and urban builders to construct these skyscrapers, these very phallic, fake representations of man's life, or something that is going to last, what, a century, 2 centuries, some centuries, some number of decades. I mean, everything fades. Life fades. The natural order of things is a progression towards death, but in death, there is a rebirth. And yeah, I cannot stop thinking about how everything is foregrounded by death, and everything is anchored to the passage of ourselves into the unknown. There is no life without death. There is no death without life. The two are the same, and yet our culture does not acknowledge one of them at all. The only time you really hear about it is when they try to sell you life insurance. So even death, or especially death, has been monetized. Traditional cultures, even our culture some generations ago, the elders of the family unit would be brought in to the family to, everyone lived together. There was a more harmonious way of being. But now even people that are near to death, we just put out of sight, out of mind. It's so disrespectful. It's so fucked up. I can't stand it. And it needs to be acknowledged, right? Because in acknowledging that your existence is temporary, is impermanent, it actually liberates you to live, to fully live. And this has been an incredible revelation for me, and it's very, very difficult to bring to others that are caught up in the day-to-day hype of chasing certain things, the cyclical nature of the 9 to 5, the cyclical nature of urban living. And that's what's made this revelation so even more powerful for me, because I live in the belly of the beast, as it were, and I've been able, through an ascetic worldview, through an ascetic daily practice, to really see things as they are, not as they appear to be. So the fundamental tension is what we return to. This tension is what you feel when you are not doing what you should be doing. And I don't mean what you should be doing as defined by society. I mean what you should be doing as defined by your conscience. Your conscience is calling you to do more with your life, to build something that will outlast you, because it knows that you are not going to last forever. And this is what drives me to do more, because I have fully acknowledged that my existence on this plane is temporary. The only thing I care about at this point is what I'm going to leave behind. Not because I have a death wish any longer, but because I know that that is so much more powerful. I'm 36 now. I may live another 50 years, let's say. Maybe I'll live another 60 years. But if I create a positive legacy, something that outlives me, that can carry me forth in perpetuity. And that is what I'm about. If I can help heal others on this plane and thereby affect the people that rely on them, that's amazing. That's so much greater than any sort of material wealth or any of the bullshit we're driven to pursue, all the pleasure, all that nonsense. So it is a tension. It is a fundamental tension, but all tensions can be relieved if we act intentionally. And so this week, I urge you all to see what ways in your life you can relieve this tension by thinking about your life as part of a continuum, part of a stream, not this thing that is going to be forever, because nothing is forever except my love for you. Peace.